So today we're going to continue our lectures. We are going to be working on, starting from this video forward, we will be working on ratios, proportions, and percentages. Percentages you are familiar with if you've done any kind of shopping. You always look for the best sale, right? The most percentage off. That'll be the last piece we go over. Ratios and proportions, if you're used to mixing things, you will be familiar with these as well. They are fractions, so we're not straying too far from the fractions that we've done previously, okay? If you're working from the GED packets, you'll be working on this one, ratio, proportion, and percentages. We're going to start from the beginning here. We're going to discuss what is a ratio, how do we write a ratio. Excuse me. A ratio, as I said, it's a percentage. It's a fraction. We use ratios when we're talking about two different things. Okay. If you've ever built a fence, you've probably mixed concrete, right? So on the back of the bag for concrete, it tells you use this much water for this much concrete, right? That's a ratio. So typically it'll say something like use 3 gallons of water for every 1 bag of concrete. Okay? I gotta get used to writing bigger. Let me write that a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see it on your screen. So 3 gallons for every 1 bag of concrete. Okay? Now notice it almost looks like a time, right? It's 3 of one thing, 2 of another thing. Okay, so in this case it's 3 gallons of water, 2, that's my 2 dots, 1 bag of concrete. Okay? And I said it's a fraction. You notice this doesn't look like a fraction. But you can also write it as a fraction. You can write it like this. 3 over 1. Those are the same thing. They're equal to each other. Okay? The difference between this and a fraction is if this was a fraction, we would simplify it. We would go 3 divided by 1 is 3. And we would be done. If it's a ratio, do not simplify it all the way down. Get to the smallest numbers you can and leave it as a fraction. Don't make it a whole number. Okay? You can work with ratios. You can simplify ratios the same way you would a fraction. Right? If I had 5 to 25, right, I would divide them both by 5, top and bottom. And I would end up with 1 to 5. That's the same ratio as this one. It's just expressed in simpler terms. Okay? It's easier to understand. It's easier to read. If I'm making a recipe and I need 5 eggs for every 25 cups of flour, well, that's a big recipe. Maybe I want to make something a little smaller, right? This also goes into proportions. This is proportionate to this. The same, okay? Even though they're using different numbers to express it. This is a ratio. You'll see them expressed this way. You'll see them expressed this way. They're the same thing, okay? So if you're working your way through it and you realize your ABC answers have this, that's fine. Take your fraction, flip it sideways, right? 3 and then your 2 dots and your 1, alright? Same thing. Ratios. We're going to talk some more about these, okay?